Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I am RoyalMixGaming and today we're going to be talking about what 6 marches I plan to use at Pass 7. So we have Pass 7 opening on the 6th of April at 1750 UTC. I plan to stream on that day. It is also going to be my birthday, so anytime before that's, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I will plan to do a birthday stream for our Pass 7. Be a lot of fun. You guys can tune into that. I also have bought a new microphone, so hopefully I can get that set up by then. If I can't, then we'll just deal with it. But we're going to go ahead and get back to this part of the video where I show you the 6 marches that I plan to use, basically the combos, and then give you a brief description of each march and what benefit it's going to give me. So the first march that we'll go over is going to be Guan Yu with Leonidas, and the reason I'm bringing this pair is because Leonidas is giving Guan Yu some tankiness. Leonidas has a slight bit of AoE, and the majority of the time it's just to bring Guan Yu some tankiness so he doesn't just melt. So then for Guan Yu, the reason I'm bringing Guan Yu is because he has a high damage factor, he silences the target, and gives Leo some march speed whenever they are leaving from a structure and stuff like that. But mostly for the silence and the AoE that Guan Yu can give me. That is going to be my first march. My second march is going to be Nebu with YSG. I am bringing YSG for the 5 march AoE he does in a circular shaped area, and then all the extra archer buffs that he does for me, so I get a lot of AoE. Same thing with Nebu here. He does a 5 target fan shaped area AoE, and then has a lot of extra defense, march speed, and extra additional damage. And he does a lot of AoE just like YSG does, and he'll be targeted a lot, but he does a lot of AoE before he goes down, especially in big murder balls that we will probably have at Pass 7. That is going to be my second march. My third march is going to be a Monitor with Artemisia, most likely Artemisia primary, but we'll see how that turns out because I have garrison talents on a Monitor, but I may just use RD primary. And I doubt I'll be garrisoning, but if I do, I'll just swap stuff over. But that'll be my third march because it is giving Artemisia some extra tankiness from a Monitor. Monitor is enabling Artemisia to do more damage because of the silence immunity, and the pair is really good, and it's a made pair for Artemisia, and that's the main reason you want Artemisia, is to be able to pair her with a Monitor, because they just do really well together, and they are very tanky, keep up well with the rest of the group with calves and stuff, and they are usually not targeted, so they do pretty well with AoE and stuff like that. That is why it's going to be my third march. My fourth march is going to be Nevsky with Minamoto. You may say, why Minamoto? And the reason is so I can use William with XY, and I'm not really wanting to bring out Mehmed because I feel like Minamoto and Nevsky are a pretty good pair, and I've been using the pair and like it a lot. So, as you all know, Nevsky does a big damage factor, reduces the defense of the target when I'm surrounding them, has attack and health, march speed, extra defense, damage bonuses, and extra skill damage. That goes really well with Minamoto because Minamoto does a lot of single target damage, has some extra attack and march speed, makes the target take more damage, and he does a lot of single target damage. I have used this pair very extensively this KVK and have liked it a lot. Even if it's targeted, it is very tanky compared to most of the other cav pairs where they don't have a lot of defense and health. This pair has enough defense and health to be able to withstand some extra damage and stay up much longer than the majority of the cav pairs I've used so far. So that's the main reason I'm bringing them, because they do so much damage to a single target, bring some different debuffs, and it is a very good pair that I like a lot. Also, that's because I want to use William with XY, because I can get the William buffs much faster, and it gives XY some march speed. So my fifth pair is going to be XY with William, like I was saying, because XY does AoE, does defense reduction, which is not that great because Nevsky's going to overcome it once I surround the target, but it's okay. He has some march speed, extra damage factor for more damage over time. His rage requirement is pretty low, so that he can fire off much faster, so that I can pop William's skills much faster and get the William buff I think his is his third skill, or his fourth skill. But yeah, it's fourth skill. You get the defense increase, and then you get the rage and extra defense per second, which is pretty good. That's why I'm pairing him with XY, so I can get that firing off as fast as possible. And they're a pretty good pair. They are targeted, but I have other marches that are just as high a priority to target, so honestly it doesn't matter to me which one's targeted, because there's someone else on my team that's going to do enough damage that I'm not too worried about it. And that's why I'm using that march as my 5th march. As a 6th march, I'm going to be using, it must be higher up, Trajan, with most likely Ethelfled, and she's probably somewhere in the middle here. Main reason I'm bringing Trajan is that he buffs with skill damage buffs, because all the marches that I have told you so far do skill damage. He's going to buff all those marches with skill damage, give him some extra rage. He has health and defense. I will try to skill him up a little bit more before past 7, but I won't be able to get too much further. But I'll give him some extra additional damage increase and maybe a little bit more defense. But I plan to use mostly infantry, so he's going to be tanky enough that I'm not too worried about it. And if I don't like it, I can always resort back to Constantine and Joan. But I'd have liked the extra skill damage bonus that Trajan has to offer. And all my marches do skill damage, so it'd be really, really good. The only reason I'm not sure about it is I may not use Ethelfled because she's not as tanky as other combos. Because the only reason I would use her is her debuff of attack, defense, and health. But I will always maybe decide to use Herald, or I may try and use Constantine to be tankier if I see that he's being targeted and I want to just either stay on the field longer or try to get a better trade. Haven't decided because I haven't used him in my big murder ball yet with my marches, so it just kind of depends on what I'm going to try and do. But I do plan to bring Trajan on the field and do my best to use him. So those are my 6 marches for this past 7 that's coming up in the next couple days, on Wednesday, actually this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions on the marches I'm using, have any tips that you have, anything you want to comment down below, just leave it down in the comments. I'll try to read them and respond as fast as I can. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one.